Hello. Now, as you all know, there has been what's branded by the media as conflict happening over in the land of Palestine. The reason why I'm saying the land of Palestine is because it is Palestinian land. Now, I'm not going to go into the politics of the situation in this video. I've spoken about it on two or three streams now, and I'll speak about it and continue to speak about it and speak against the side of the oppressor and speaking for the oppressed. I like to approach everything from a neutral standpoint and look at all of the evidence, all of the information, and then from then make my mind up and make my opinion. And that's exactly what I did in this situation. I gathered all my evidence, I did my research, looked at the history, looked at what's happening now, the facts, the figures, and I can tell you that there is only one correct stance. There aren't two, there isn't a both sides of the equation, nah, there's only one. As you guess from the title of the video, I just kind of wanted to rant a little bit about influencers and about people that have a big platform. Now, I know some people will disagree with what I'm about to say. I like to look at things from every single way possible, sort of every angle, and try and cover every single angle. I don't like to blame people for doing certain things or not doing certain things, believing in certain things and not. But in this situation where there is a clear side, there is a clear oppressor, there is a clear terrorist, and it's not necessarily the ones that the media want you to believe are the terrorists. There is one thing which I sort of don't understand, and that is if you have a platform, especially a big one. Some of these people would be considered like small-time influencers. They might have 5K, 10K followers, but you can make such a big difference. The numbers statistically don't work the way in which that if you have 10,000 followers, every single one of those 10,000 are going to be following you, doing everything that you tell them to do, using your special code when it comes to buying this and that, and whatever boohoo man or boohoo woman, flat tummy tea advert you have. They're not going to do that. Maybe only 10% of your following will. Maybe only 10% will even see that post, and 10% of that 10% will actually use your code. But still, that's 10%. It's 1,000 people. Now, my Instagram is tiny. I've got 1,000 people, literally. I've actually lost 20 followers ever since I started posting pro-Palestine stuff, which I found quite interesting, but it is what it is, right? And I've sort of done a little bit of maths, and I found out that roughly 10% of my Instagram following views my story. It's actually a little bit more. It's sort of shot up recently in the last couple months to almost 20%. It's like 17.5%, 18%. I've got some active people, like, what can I say? I'm proud of you guys and I'm happy to have you. So again, judging by those facts and figures, if you then scale up my profile to somebody who has 10K or 100K or 1 million, you're looking at up to 200,000 people that could be watching. And that sort of segues into the main point. If you have a following that is that big and you still maintain this mindset that like you have no say, you have no power, nothing you can do or say is going to help anything, you're completely wrong. Just completely wrong. And everyone's seen that post about it, that's how privileged you are, but it's so fucking true. It speaks to the amount of privilege that you have, that you think because something doesn't affect you personally, you can't do anything about it. And so there's no point in doing anything about it. You're not even going to spread awareness to your thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of fans, people who maybe can do something about it. You don't know who these people are. And recently there has been a lot of that going on and going around, especially on Instagram and Twitter, where people are canceling people, their favorite celebs or their favorite influencers and IG models. They're not posting and spreading awareness and supporting the Palestinian people as they struggle against their oppressor. Now, I'm sort of in two minds about this. One of them being, and this is something I've always said not everybody is a fighter. It's just the truth. Not everyone is a fighter. Not everyone is able to fight. And some people are going through 9, 10, 11 personal problems at the same time. I do think that you should sort of focus on yourself first before focusing on other people. A lot of you people might disagree. A lot of you people might think that's a very selfish way of thinking, but if you are going through something or your family's going through something immediately right now and you can't do anything, maybe you can't post because you're not even on your phone. You're dealing with, for the sake of argument, like managing and trying to set up funerals, working a 40-hour week, buying food and cooking and caring for your parents or a disabled child or just a child in general, you're obviously not gonna have the time to be posting on social media, to even be watching social media. But you should still be up to date, and you should still be trying to do something maybe behind the scenes. And that sort of goes for the normal average person. But that's the thing, my focus is on these people that have a big, massive following. My focus is on these people who are the influencers, who are supposed to influence the people. And what better way to do it than by spreading awareness for something that actually matters? Because I see a lot of these influencers posting their makeup tutorials, their flat tummy tea and boohoo woman and man pretty little thing adverts. I see a lot of these influencers posting things that don't really matter. Things that matter to them because they get money from it. Every time you use their code and buy something at the checkout, of course, they get a percentage. So they're smiling. You're smiling because you maybe got your 10, 20% off. But the people of Palestine aren't smiling. Some of those people, sadly, because of the way today's day and age is, we'll see their friend who has 300 or 250 followers posting something and disregard it because you're worthless, because you have no social media presence. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really bother me. They might see me with 1,000 posting something and go, yeah, it's just Will, whatever, it is what it is. And then they'll see their favorite influencer who has 10K, who has 100K posting, and they'll be like, oh, okay, so if he's posting it, oh, maybe it's something I should look into. And when you have that kind of presence online, when you are able to have that kind of weight, that kind of pull, that kind of influence, I think you should most definitely use it. And again, I understand some people want to keep their pages for just being creative. Some people want to keep their pages for having positive vibes and doing all of that stuff, which I also don't agree with, because usually the people that say positive vibes, spread love, spread positivity are the most toxic fucking individuals on the planet, but that's a completely separate issue. But yeah, even if you're doing that, you know, it's one post. One post, it takes 30 seconds, and you can't act like you haven't seen it, especially if you are actively using social media. And so when you're seeing all of these posts, you're seeing all of these different things and different guides, you know, ways you can help, just spread a little bit of awareness. Especially those people who are going to Dubai and like taking and getting tattoos of Arabic writing. People who basically use the culture as their aesthetic, saying nothing when that culture is being oppressed. And of course you can go and tell me about, oh, well, what about the Gulf states that are being quiet? They were bought. Israel used US tax money to buy their loyalty and pay for their silence. I'm sorry, but has US tax money paid for your silence? I don't think so. So if you are constantly posting your outfit of the day, post one thing. It doesn't have to be a graphic image. It can just be a simple how to help. Where can you go to donate? What can you sign? No one's asking you to literally go and fly there by yourself and fight against the Israeli occupational force. It's all about pressure. The more pressure you put on somebody, the more likely they're gonna react to that, right? And I agree with adding a little bit of pressure onto these influencers, because some of them might just be ignorant. Some of them also just might not be fighters. I don't see why you deserve to have such a big platform if you aren't a fighter personally, and I think it's wrong, especially when you have big celebrities like Bella Hadid, like Zayn Malik, John Oliver, bringing such attention to this kind of cause. And you, who are just some sort of IG model or influencer from Love Island or The Cabins, have decided to just stay silent. You have followers for a reason. Do something with them. Push them in the right direction. Influence them the correct way.